This video did not exist in your reality until your consciousness collapsed it into form. You brought yourself here. Let that sink in for a moment. Have you ever wondered why certain objects, like a random feather on the sidewalk, seem to appear out of nowhere precisely when you are asking the universe for a sign? Today, we are tearing down the veil. We are going to explore why finding a feather is not just a cute spiritual symbol, but absolute, undeniable proof that your personal observer effect is working. By the end of this video, you will completely understand your true power as the ultimate creator of your reality. You will no longer wait for signs. You will realize that you are the one generating them. Tell me, have you ever felt that reality was somehow listening to your private thoughts? To understand what is truly happening when you find a feather, we must first step outside the illusions of the material world. We must enter what the ancient mystics and modern physicists call the quantum field, or the void. Think of the void not as empty space, but as a dense, vibrating soup of infinite potential. Everything that has ever existed, and everything that will ever exist, currently resides in this void as a wave of pure probability. It is formless energy waiting for a command. And who gives the command? You do. The act of observation is not a passive process of simply looking at a world that already exists. Observation is an intensely active, creative force. When you direct your consciousness toward the void, you force those waves of probability to freeze. You force them to collapse into solid matter. You are not living in the universe. The universe is living inside of you, responding to your every gaze. Let us begin by shattering the grand illusion of coincidence. When you are walking down a perfectly ordinary street and suddenly spot a lone feather resting directly in your path, your logical mind immediately attempts to rationalize the event. It tells you that a bird simply flew by and dropped it by chance. But what if I told you that this feather is actually a glitch in the matrix of your physical reality? It is not a random, meaningless occurrence. It is a direct, undeniable physical manifestation pulled straight from the infinite void. This tiny, seemingly insignificant object is the ultimate proof that your observer effect is working perfectly. You see, the vast majority of humanity walks through life completely asleep, believing that reality is something that just happens to them. They believe they are at the mercy of external circumstances, tossed around by the chaotic winds of fate. But you are watching this because you are ready to remember the truth. You are among the very small percentage of individuals who are beginning to realize that the outer world is nothing more than a mirror reflecting your inner state of consciousness. That feather did not exist in that specific space and time until your conscious awareness required it to be there. It is a physical echo of your own awakening. To truly grasp the magnitude of this phenomenon, we must dive deeper into the concept of the void itself. The void is the canvas of creation. It is the zero-point energy field where all matter originates. Before that feather was a physical object you could hold in your hand, it was pure, unmanifested potentiality. It was a mathematical probability floating in the quantum field. It had no shape, no color, and no physical weight. It was simply energy. So, how did it transform from invisible potential into a solid object resting on the concrete in front of you? You called it forth. Your specific frequency, your internal vibration, and your subconscious desire for a sign interacted with the zero-point field. Your consciousness acted as a magnet, drawing that specific probability out of the infinite ocean of possibilities and anchoring it into your three-dimensional reality. You literally reached into the invisible world and pulled a physical object into existence. This is not a metaphor. This is the literal mechanics of how reality is generated moment by moment. When you look at that feather, you are looking at your own energy materialized. Now let us talk about the observer effect from a mystical perspective. Quantum physicists have known for decades that particles behave differently when they are being watched. In the famous double-slit experiment, particles act as a wave of infinite possibilities until a measurement is made. The very act of observing forces the quantum wave to collapse into a single, defined point in space and time. Scientists are still baffled by this because they try to understand it through the lens of a dead, mechanical universe. But, as a spiritual being, you hold the missing key. The missing key is consciousness. Your consciousness is the observer. You do not have a soul that sits inside a physical body. You are a vast field of awareness that is currently projecting a physical body and a physical world. Therefore, when you observe your reality, you are not just taking in data through your eyes. You are actively commanding the quantum field to organize itself according to your expectations. The feather is the collapsed wave function. It is the scientific proof of your divinity. But why does your consciousness collapse reality in this specific way? It all comes down to the power of your thoughts and, more importantly, your deeply held beliefs. Your mind is the ultimate collapsing mechanism in the universe. Every single thought you think is an electrical impulse, a signal sent directly into the void. However, the universe does not respond to idle, fleeting thoughts. It responds to your dominant frequency. It responds to the deep, silent knowing within you. When you are in a state of alignment, when you are feeling connected to the universe and asking for guidance, you emit a powerful electromagnetic signature. This signature acts like a beacon. The quantum field, being perfectly responsive and perfectly neutral, matches this beacon by rearranging atoms and molecules. It orchestrates a symphony of seemingly unrelated events. A bird flies overhead at exactly the right second. The wind blows at exactly the right angle. Your footsteps lead you down exactly the right path. All of these variables are coordinated by your mind to deliver the feather to your feet. You might be wondering, why a feather? Why not a gold coin or a new car? This is where the mechanics of manifestation become deeply psychological. The feather is the perfect manifestation precisely because you have absolutely zero resistance to it. It is lightweight, harmless, and deeply symbolic. Throughout human history, across countless cultures and ancient civilizations, the feather has been recognized as a symbol of the divine, a message from the spirit realm, or a sign of angelic presence. Your subconscious mind is already pre-programmed to accept a feather as a miraculous sign. When you ask the universe for proof, your analytical mind does not fight the appearance of a feather. You do not have limiting beliefs about your ability to manifest a feather. You do not worry about whether you deserve a feather or how you will pay taxes on a feather. Because you have no resistance, the quantum field can deliver it instantly and effortlessly. The feather teaches you what manifestation feels like when there is no doubt blocking the flow of energy. This brings us to the crucial role of emotional frequency in the art of observation. Manifestation is never just about thinking the right thoughts. Thoughts are electric, but emotions are magnetic. Your emotions are what actually pull the collapsed probability toward your physical location. Before you found that feather, think back to your emotional state. You were likely in a state of seeking, a state of quiet wonder, or perhaps a moment of deep surrender where you let go of your worldly anxieties. In that moment of surrender, your vibration naturally elevated. You stopped resisting the present moment. By dropping your resistance, you entered into a state of coherence with the quantum field. Your heart and your mind aligned. This emotional coherence is the master key. It is the fertile soil in which the seed of manifestation grows. The feather is simply a physical match to the feeling of relief, connection, or wonder that you were emitting. It is the universe saying, "I hear you, I feel you, and I am matching your exact emotional frequency." What you are experiencing when you find this feather is the profound phenomenon of synchronicity. The great psychologist Carl Jung defined synchronicity as an acausal connecting principle. In other words, two events are connected not by physical cause and effect, but by their inherent meaning. When you merge Jungian psychology with quantum mechanics, a beautiful truth emerges. Synchronicity is simply the universe echoing your internal state. It is the feedback loop of the quantum field. When your internal reality shifts, your external reality must shift to reflect it. It is a cosmic law. The feather is the external symbol of your internal realization. It proves that there is no separation between your mind and the physical environment around you. They are one continuous fabric. When you change the fabric of your thoughts, a ripple travels outward, manipulating the fabric of the world. Synchronicity is the universe winking at you, letting you know that you have successfully hacked the code of the matrix. However, there is a trap that many awakening souls fall into. It is the danger of dismissing the sign. You find the feather, you feel that initial spark of magic, and then, 5 seconds later, the analytical mind kicks in. Your ego whispers, "It is just a bird. It is just a coincidence. You are making this up." The moment you entertain this doubt, you commit a critical error. The logical mind is attempting to kill the quantum phenomenon. By dismissing the manifestation as random chance, you are actively reversing the wave function collapse. You are sending a new, contradictory command to the void. You are telling the universe that you prefer to remain in the illusion of powerlessness. You are commanding the quantum field to stop responding to you. Doubt is a frequency just like any other, and if you choose to observe your reality through the lens of doubt, the universe will immediately obey. It will provide you with a dead, meaningless world, exactly as you have asked for. This is why understanding the difference between conscious and unconscious manifestation is so vital. You manifest small things, like feathers, repeating numbers, or parking spaces, quite easily. This is because they occur in the realm of conscious manifestation without unconscious interference. You set the intention and you let it go. But consider what happens when you try to manifest larger desires, like abundant wealth, radiant health, or a profound romantic partnership. The quantum mechanics remain exactly the same. The void does not care if you are asking for a feather or $1 million. It requires the exact same amount of energy to collapse the wave function. The only difference is your internal resistance. With larger desires, your unconscious mind triggers decades of fear, trauma, and limiting beliefs. You block the manifestation not because the universe says no, but because you secretly believe it is impossible. The feather is your training ground. It is showing you the flawless template of how reality creation is supposed to work. To master this template, you must fully embrace the illusion of separation. Since you were born, you have been conditioned to believe that you are a tiny, fragile ego trapped inside a physical body, walking through a massive, indifferent universe. You have been taught that the world is happening out there, and you are just an observer in here. But the quantum field reveals a radically different truth. You are not walking through the world. The world is happening entirely within you. Your consciousness is the container for the entire universe. That feather you found on the ground is not separate from you. It is quite literally a piece of your own mind, externalized and crystallized into matter. The sidewalk is your mind. The sky is your mind. The people you interact with are projections of your own internal archetypes. Once you truly realize that everything is you, the fear of manifestation completely vanishes. How can you fear the external world when you know that you are the very substance it is made of? When this realization hits you, your observer power escalates rapidly. If you can collapse a wave function into a feather simply by aligning your frequency, what else can you collapse? The possibilities become truly infinite. You begin to look at your life not as a series of random events, but as a canvas of your own design. If you are experiencing poverty, you realize it is just a wave function you have been continually observing into existence. If you are experiencing illness, it is a pattern of energy you have been unknowingly maintaining. By shifting your observation point, you withdraw your energy from the old reality. You stop feeding it with your attention. Instead, you turn your powerful gaze toward the reality you actually desire. You begin to observe the unseen as if it were already seen. You begin to feel the emotions of the wish fulfilled. This is not positive thinking. This is advanced quantum mechanics. You are literally bending the fabric of space and time to accommodate your new state of being. As you practice this, you will begin recognizing other manifestations everywhere. The feather is just the beginning. You will start to experience intense episodes of déjà vu, realizing that you have visited this exact moment in the quantum field before it materialized. You will think of an old friend, and your phone will ring 5 seconds later with their name on the screen. You will ask a silent question in your mind, and a stranger walking past you will speak the answer out loud. You will see repeating numbers like 1111 or 333 everywhere you look. These are not coincidences. These are the breadcrumbs of your awakening consciousness. They are the structural code of the matrix revealing itself to you. Every single time one of these events happens, it is the void confirming that your observer effect is expanding. The universe is responding to you with greater speed and greater clarity because the static noise of your ego is finally beginning to clear. To maintain this high level of reality creation, you must learn to deal with the interference of the analytical mind. Your brain, as magnificent as it is fundamentally a survival tool. It was evolved to look for danger, to analyze the past, and to predict the future based on fear. It is not a manifestation tool. In fact, it is the greatest obstacle to quantum manifestation. The analytical mind operates strictly within the confines of the known, but the reality you want to create exists in the unknown. It exists in the void. Therefore, you cannot think your way into a new reality. You cannot use logic to create miracles. You must bypass the logical mind completely to access the quantum field directly. This requires you to step out of the realm of human logic and into the realm of pure, unadulterated knowing. You must become comfortable with the mystery. When the analytical mind asks how the manifestation will arrive, you must simply answer, "That is the job of the void, not me." The gateway to bypassing the analytical mind is the state of no mind. This is the profound, meditative state where you enter the void completely. To manifest a new reality from the void, you must literally become the void. You must strip away your name, your identity, your past, your problems, and your physical body. You must become pure consciousness, floating in the endless expanse of blackness. This is what we call zero-point consciousness. In this state, you are no longer a person trying to manifest an object. You are the source code of reality itself. When you plant a seed of intention while in the state of no mind, it bypasses all of your human limitations. It is directly imprinted onto the blueprint of the universe. 10 minutes spent in this deep quantum state is more powerful than 10 years of physical effort and struggle. In the void, time does not exist. Space does not exist. There is only the eternal now, waiting for your absolute command. This is the true physics of belief. In the quantum realm, belief is not just a passing thought or a hopeful wish. It is a rigid, neurological command sent to the quantum field. When you truly believe something, your brain fires in a specific, locked pattern. This pattern generates a magnetic field that is absolutely uncompromising. The field must bend to absolute certainty. When you doubt, your magnetic field fluctuates, sending mixed signals, resulting in a chaotic and unpredictable reality. But when your belief is absolute, the universe has no choice but to reflect it. It is a mechanical certainty. If you know that you are a master of manifestation, with the same certainty that you know the sun will rise in the morning, the universe will move mountains to prove you right. The feather appeared because deep down you possessed absolute certainty that the universe would speak to you. You must now cultivate that same level of unshakable certainty for every aspect of the life you are choosing to design. To solidify this power, you must begin actively retraining your perception. You must stop waiting for signs and start looking for evidence of your power everywhere you go. When you find the feather, do not just smile and walk away. Stop exactly where you are. Pick it up or look closely at it. Acknowledge it verbally or internally. Say to yourself, "I created this. I brought this out of the void." Own the manifestation completely. Do not give the credit away to chance or to some distant deity in the sky. The deity is you. The power is flowing through your own awareness. By consciously acknowledging that you are the creator of the feather, you reinforce the neural pathways of manifestation in your brain. You train your subconscious mind to expect more miracles. You shift your self-image from a passive observer of life to the active architect of reality. Every small manifestation acknowledged is a brick laid in the foundation of your new, limitless existence. When you fully acknowledge your manifestation, something extraordinary happens on a cosmic scale. You initiate a timeline shift. The moment you say, "I created this," you instantly detach from the timeline where you are a victim of circumstance. You quantum leap onto a new trajectory, a parallel reality where you are the conscious architect of your destiny. On this new timeline, the rules of physics begin to operate differently for you. Serendipity becomes your natural state of being. Obstacles dissolve before you even reach them. Opportunities seek you out while you sleep. This is not magic. It is the natural consequence of taking responsibility for your observer effect. You have aligned your localized consciousness with the universal consciousness. You are no longer swimming against the current of the river. You have become the river itself. The feather was the ticket, but the timeline shift is the destination. You are now operating in a reality where your thoughts are instantly recognized as commands. As you navigate this new timeline, you must learn how to handle the phenomenon of lag time. Physical reality, the three-dimensional world we inhabit, is dense. Because of this density, there is often a delay between the moment you observe a new reality in the quantum field and the moment it crystallizes into physical form. This delay is the testing ground of your faith. When the manifestation does not appear instantly, the untrained mind panics. It assumes the observer effect has failed. It defaults to the old vibration of lack and doubt, thereby cancelling the order. You must understand that the delay is merely an illusion of time. The manifestation has already occurred in the quantum realm. It is making its way to you through the dense layers of physical matter. During this lag time, your only job is to remain completely steadfast in your observation. Do not check to see if it is happening. Do not dig up the seed to see if it is growing. Maintain the frequency of the wish fulfilled, knowing it is already yours. As you master the art of holding your frequency during the lag time, the quantum shift begins to expand into every corner of your existence. You will notice that as your inner state becomes more peaceful, your external world becomes remarkably harmonious. Toxic relationships will naturally fall away, replaced by connections that resonate with your new vibration. Your career or life purpose will suddenly align with your highest joy. Your physical health will improve as the dense energies of stress and fear are cleared from your cellular memory. Your entire life becomes a living, breathing testament to the observer effect. You will realize that you are not just manifesting objects, you are manifesting a completely new version of yourself. The old you, the one who doubted, the one who suffered unnecessarily, is simply a collapsed wave function that you no longer choose to observe. You are continuously rebirthing yourself into higher and higher states of consciousness, day by day, moment by moment. This leads us to the ultimate realization on your spiritual journey. The feather is not just a sign, it is a profound, mystical mirror. It is the universe leaning in close and whispering that you are finally waking up from the long, heavy dream of powerlessness. You have played the game of being a limited human beautifully, but the game is now evolving. The universe wants to know itself through you. It wants to create breathtaking beauty, profound abundance, and limitless joy. But it needs your conscious observation to do so. You are the lens through which the infinite void experiences itself as form. Never again look at your life as a series of random events. You are a quantum master, walking through a world of your own making. Every step you take is a command to the cosmos. Every thought you think is a brushstroke on the canvas of eternity. The void is waiting for your next instruction. What will you choose to observe into existence today? The power is, and always has been, entirely in your hands. The truth is absolute. You are not simply existing in reality. You are reality observing itself into existence. The feather is your undeniable proof. You are the creator, the observer, and the void, all happening at once. Do not let this knowledge slip away into the background noise of everyday life. Anchor it right now. If this transmission resonated with your soul, subscribe to the channel and leave a like to command the algorithm of the universe. To physically lock this new timeline into your reality, write this exact phrase in the comments below. I am the observer, creating my reality. By doing this, you are sending a physical command to the quantum field. Tell me, what other signs or profound synchronicities have you manifested in your life recently? I want to read your stories. Until next time, keep your vibration high and your observation focused.